8:16. It seems like everybody's talking about mortgage rates now. You drive around the city, they're really all over the Delaware Valley. There are for sale signs everywhere.
You got that right. Interest rates are at an all-time low, reportedly lower than the mid-50s. So how could you not buy a house?
Let's ask mortgage expert Vince Ingui. He's here now. Good morning to you, Vince.
Top
of the morning.
Okay, do we buy or not? It almost is demanding that we buy a house with the interest
If you're on
rates
the
so
fence.
low.
We keep saying it, the rates are at the lowest ever, and they're going to go back up. But yet, something keeps happening, and maybe the stock market can't get out of its own way, and it's keeping interest rates extremely low. So you're absolutely right. I mean, I can't think of a time where housing has been more affordable.
Should we wish that interest rates were going back up because that means the economy is turning around? Is one linked to the other?
Partly so. They obviously are very much correlated, but you don't want rates to go up too much because that also has a negative effect on the economy. When borrowing becomes expensive, companies can't expand, can't buy new equipment, can't buy new real estate. So they do run hand in hand.
So if you're renting and you're paying, let's say, X dollars a month, it's probably worth, I guess you're saying, if you're thinking about buying, worth it to look into it to see perhaps you could be paying a mortgage as opposed to renting for the same payment, if you will.
Yeah, many times that's the case. Looking into it for sure.
Yeah.
Now, you want to be there. We talked about this a few weeks back. You probably want to be in that house or in that area for 3 or 4 years.
For a while.
That's generally the cutoff because there's closing costs when you mortgage and there's taxes when you buy a property.
Oh.
So, and you have to resell it at some point, obviously. So you want to be there for a while, but dollar for dollar, when you take into account the tax deductions, especially right now with these rates being low, you can really make that case.
So let's say I can't guarantee that I'm going to be in this house more than 5 years. Continue to rent?
Depending where you are.
3 years?
Yeah, depending where you are. I would say 3 years typically, 3-4 years. And you got to do the analysis. You got to figure out what's the house going to cost me?
Yeah.
What's my current rent? How much is my rent going to go up every year over these next few years? 'Cause a lot of times it goes up by like 5%.
What about for the viewers who want to refinance? How does that affect them?
People are refinancing out the wazoo right now. So biggest hurdle in refinancing.
I was about to say, because it's not always so easy, right?
The biggest hurdle in refinancing is people right now don't have a lot of equity. There are some programs available through the government, through the administration, that are allowing folks to refinance either with no equity, that are at or below their mortgage balance as far as what their property is worth. But I would tell everyone when you're applying, don't just go to your current lender. Call a mortgage broker. I think mortgage brokers these days, there's not a lot left, frankly, because of the increased regulation, the difficult economy, and everything that's put a burden. But mortgage brokers have more product and more outlets than one single lender.
So pit them against each other a little bit, some competition.
Get lower.
Sure. Hey, that's the American way.
So, but people are going, I've been paying on this house 5-6 years,
Forever.
but you've been paying off interest probably more than anything.
Yeah, the first 5 years of your loan, you're exactly right. Primarily your interest. Your house is going down in value, so you're probably not going to have a whole lot of equity unless, of course, you put some money down to begin with. But as I said, call a broker, who works with Wells Fargo, Bank of America. That also may have other portfolio lenders, may have access that simply just going to the lender direct may not give you.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
Out the wazoo. Now again, where is the wazoo?
You
Okay,
Thanks
never
so
mind.
much, Mike.
don't even have to answer that question, Vince.
Yeah, you got to watch. You got to try lightly over here.